we're going to have a violent revolution led by this cult-like figure. And that isn't going to end well. So, the church has this idea of religion. Wow, actually, I just realised. Catholic Church, Rome is still a country. The Vatican is still a country. In primary school, because it was a Church of England primary school, and to be honest, that was the kind of school where you kind of found Prussia. You've got Trillion, you've got Fenchurch, and then you've got the Companions. Changed the power of the church. He changed religion because he wanted to get his end away. And
against everything he believed in, since it was a sodding church. We both stayed at the out-of-school club. The debate still rages on about whether it was
things to coin a sexist term annoys me, but for the most part I understand that feminism is a broad-ass church and incredibly tolerant so long as you make clear. Now, all that is left of Rome is the fucking Vatican, the church of the fucking Catholics. Every section of society, the BBC, the police force, the Church of England, you know, obviously the Catholic Church. So when the Church of Scientology is beginning to look rather tempting as an opportunity. Okay. Okay. Oh, so it doesn't church for hose. Okay, let's try axe. Okay. Feel less monstrous than the fucking Republican Church of Christianity right now in America. In science, yes, in the great Church of Science there is a sect. There are biologists use a term religious canon, okay? The official version of events. And the church has a pope who is basically a Roman Catholic. I mean, obviously, the patriarchy comes from the church, but we'll discuss that, I suppose. We knew about that, and it's like, so what? The Lannisters. It's the Lannisters and the church plot. I don't care about that. What I cared about was about to correct myself, and I was like, no, actually, the Catholic Church did do paedophilia, but also the Church of England. So did the BBC. Canon is something defined by the church. And essentially, when the Romans, after the Romans, Church of Christianity right now in America, because the Church of Satan actually respects women's bodily autonomy and well, the term canonical and canon comes from the Catholic Church, because the role of the Pope is to basically say, no. If it is anything like that church scene, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Between a bunch of lone right-wing people in a church, quietly going about their business, quietly believing what they held, does entirely come from the fact that I went to a Church of England Christian school. So I am actually quite familiar with Christianity. So, who are you gonna call? Catholic Church. You know, it really is like, you know, if there's a demon possessing you, don't worry. Ruins, whilst the Catholic Church stands in Rome's place, and Christians. In America, a white man goes into a church that was famously used to shop. It's, you know, this charity shop, that charity shop, this church. They're really... Scientists will say, you know what, we got nothing, you might as well try the Catholic Church. And then the Catholic Church will look at the case, review it, and say, which is basically cribbed from the good parts of, you know, Church of England morality as sort of modified the Church of England, you know, obviously the Catholic Church. So, you know, Britain's got problems in that respect, but, you know, genuinely, this
is that canon comes from the church, okay? Which the Quran comes from the church too, okay?
Oh, was I there? No, she wasn't. It was me. What did you do to the chair? No, it was when I was in. No, it was when I was in the toilet.
I was taught by Church of England Christians the story of the crucifixion. And
all these people up is basically saying, look, there's the devil, you need to believe in the Catholic Church. You know, it's that kind of thing that's not no, turns out it's 2017 and church pastors are defending a fucking centricism, you know. You've got your fucking atheist church called humanists. What the fuck do robots worship, you know? Humanists say, you know, about the devil that, you know, the devil's kept the Catholic Church in business all these years because
canon comes from the Catholic Church term for the official reading of the Bible, the official definition of Christianity. This is a church where everyone has to go naked. Look, I'm naked to go to church. Oh, but if that freaks you out, I've got a pill.
And yes, that is entirely the fact that I went to a Christian to Church of England primary school where
I suppose I consider myself a sort of Church of England follower of the religion. I seem rather au fait and casual about the whole going to church and religious ceremonies bit. Are saying, look at the Quran, look at these people who do not respect the Pope, who do not respect Church of England or whatever. Look how full of dicks.
Parody of, you know, the Catholic Church or even or even like, you know, Israel or ISIS, or like priests or whatever, from the Latin for father, where you would have essentially the Catholic Church would rule over
was illegal because they were slaves, and he goes into this church and he shoots 9 black people, and the National Rifle Association.
You know, like, I realised that, you know, feminism is a very broad church, and to a certain extent the term is meaningless, but we don't remember that, you know, Churchill, you know, said that I would give an honourable, and now all that remains of Rome is a Catholic fucking church, and now Israel is doing policies that are basically encroach. You know, that's just sort of what happens when you have a broad church, as the alt-right should well understand. Like, the scene in the church is meant to be graphic and violent and abhorrent. It's almost like, you know, the devil is the best friend the Catholic Church has ever had because he's kept them in business all these years, you know. But, you know, all in a day's work for the Catholic Church. You know, the Catholic Church, saving your immortal souls, and so you say, oh, well, you see, refugees, they have done raping and pedophilia. Yes, and also, so did the Catholic Church. So, I was about to correct myself, and I was like, no, Westboro Baptist, the Westboro Baptist Church, and, you know, the fucking Oregon militia, it's just, these are just kind of like, well, what if the Catholic Church basically realised there's loads of different Jesus Christs in all these different universes? It almost like this is almost the perfect, like, advert for the Catholic Church, sort of saying, you know, yeah, because the lack of a distinction between church and state means that this system, you know, put a lot of emphasis on swaying a whole load of, you know, like Church of England people and Catholics and saying, come on, Christian church outlasted them. Christian church is basically all that's left of Rome, because everybody's got goddamn guns, especially because this is an extreme right-wing church where they're like, yes, we will all bring guns to church.
About the fact that this white man went into a church used by black people during the time of slavery to give them hope.
I don't have much of a problem with sort of that Church of England style Anglicanism.
And his Church of Legisios essentially make it their sworn mission to go out finding all. Literally, the doctor says explicitly, this is a church where everyone has to go naked. Look, I'm naked to go to church.
Or Satanism as satire of the church and as basically a whole bunch of atheists sort of thing.
And so you now have a church that has grown around the husk of the Roman Empire, yeah?
Allow this to happen. I am critical of Saudi Arabia because there is no distinction between church and state. I am critical of America because
it just wasn't a factor. Like, if you wanted an education, you went to the fucking church because they had a vested interest.
And didn't work. The Christian church outlasted them.
Okay, sort of, being really atheist and like hating the church and going, I'm not going in there. That's extent that kind of the Roman Catholic Church superseded the Roman Empire. Okay, I mean, Rome now is still
establishment. The only way he can get into power is by saying, hey, brown shirts, join with me and we'll get in. When we've got Trump and we've got what's going on in Chechnya and the fascists and neoliberalism is dying and what the fuck, right? Like, why? Okay, the Lannisters have all this power, they have united with the church, they've got all this power, and in one fell swoop...
I don't want that. I want to go to the church on Sunday and go, yes, our dear Lord Dawkins, yes, I believe wholeheartedly in. The big protest turns into a revolution. If Charlotte Church ends up, breaking into the Houses of Parliament and saying,
I'm gonna have some ties to the Catholic Church, and so almost like this is almost the perfect, like,
who is a member of the church and stuff, wanted to kill the president with his evil teleportation powers.
Of America, because there is no distinction between church and state. I am critical of Israel because of its foreign policies. I'm not, engaging in non-consensual sex and being fucking monsters. The Church of Satan is actually nice, who drink tea and, like, don't give a fuck about church, like C of E people, like that.
From Jeremy Corbyn, from Russell Brand and Charlotte Church and all these people just saying, guys, that Christianity, the church, the Roman Catholic Church, has come to decide on
Jews, Christians, fuck you. And Rome is now basically just the Catholic Church. Hitler, he's like, Jews.
Atheist in his school was going to be baptized into the Church of England. For the month it took to prepare for our school's baptisement, the Farshnook's favourite choice of
I'm much more of a shipper for Arthur and Fenchurch from So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, but that
essentially, the Son of God, the religious church, the cult icon, as necessarily a sexist ideology that says,
Ironism is a very broad church, and to a certain extent the term is meaningless. But it is a very broad church, and so there are, you know, forms of feminism.
To the shadow government of the Roman Catholic Church, to Protestantism, to Anabaptism, to radical Anabaptism.
Right-wing church where they're like, yes, we will all bring guns to church so we can kill everybody.
The sort of the church. And the church was founded because of Roman times and then appropriated.
Yay! Yay! This is good! We've got the Catholic Church! This is okay! I mean, I had just read that, you know, the late have problems dealing with paedophilia. The Church of England has problems dealing with paedophilia. Paedophilia is kind of a big fucking thing. And you go out and you do out of a church Twitter. We must let people die. There's a thing. It's got comment.